Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, November 19. Government has dispersed $1 billion to start emergency road repairs and cleaning activities across the island. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the allocation will cover roads and drains at the national and local level, which were severely impacted by the recent passage of tropical storms Zeta and Eta. The National Works Agency will be administering the program, which will coincide with the annual Christmas mitigation program. From the funds, each member of parliament will receive $15 million to carry out works under specific conditions. The Prime Minister says a minimum of $7 million must be spent on patching and $4 million may be spent on debushing, while $2 million each may be spent on beautification and drain cleaning. He stressed the need to strategically utilize the funds.
So the idea is not for us to be wasting resources, to give it to the MPs for them to do as they wish. But through a process of collaboration, let's look at the roads that are needed to support our economic development and support the movement of traffic. But also, let's look at those roads that cause severe inconvenience to local communities. And the MPs and the councillors are in the best position because they see directly, firsthand, the issues.
Prime Minister Holness gave the update during this Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. 40 young people from across the island have been selected to become agricultural aides and provide support in the field to extension officers of the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA. The recipients will receive technical skills training to meet the needs of the agricultural sector. The Agricultural Aid Program was launched on Tuesday as the Ministry of Agriculture signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Hart NSTA Trust and the Housing Opportunity, Production and Employment HOPE Program. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green says the young people will be engaged for a period of 6 months in the initial phase. They will be paid a stipend of $11,000 weekly, which will be drawn from a budget allocation of $10.8 million.
So our HOPE will be in charge of recruitment, and then our Hart National Service and Training Trust will work on training, especially in the core principles. RADA will provide that technical support and technical training, and most importantly, at the end of the time period, our young people will be certified.
The aim is to have the individuals out in the fields by December supporting farmers, especially those who were badly affected by recent heavy rains.
They will be coming on to help us with our data gathering and data collection, which we want to do a better job of because we want to ensure that all our decisions are data driven. So we want to have the best data on hand in real time. They will be technically trained, so they will help, especially in identifying early issues that the farmers face. And importantly, they will also help in feeding the information when our farmers have challenges, suggestions to the extension officers and to RADA.
Minister Green says it's also hoped this engagement will help the youth transition to become a pool of preferred candidates available to bolster the number of RADA extension officers, which currently stands at 99. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke is asserting that government's capitalization of the Bank of Jamaica to the tune of $50 billion over 2 previous budgets was critical in ensuring liquidity in the system. This move, he says, better enabled the government to cushion the effects of the global COVID-19 pandemic.
The central bank was able to inject over $50 billion of liquidity into the system by their own, I'm just paraphrasing what I've heard the governor say, by purchasing bonds from financial institutions. And by purchasing those bonds, which are assets that they held, they, by virtue of doing that, injected cash into the system, which has allowed for Jamaica to absorb the pressures that have come from this crisis.
Dr. Clarke was speaking in Parliament on Tuesday as he piloted the Bank of Jamaica Amendment Act, which was approved by the members. The act seeks to improve the governance of the central bank. The finance minister says it is designed to modernize and strengthen the BOJ and allow for greater transparency and accountability to maintain national economic well-being.
This bill Madam Speaker, clarifies the mandate of the central bank, provides for capitalization, adequate capitalization of the central bank, and institutes a modern and robust, accountable, transparent institutional framework. It minimizes the prospect of fiscal dominance, as we have had in Jamaica's past, by restricting conditions on which the GOJ can borrow from the central bank and their amounts.
The legislation will now be sent to the Senate for its approval. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the state will be tabling several pieces of legislation and policies between December 2020 and March 2021 to overhaul the public health approach to non-communicable diseases, NCDs. Dr. Tufton says greater emphasis will be placed on the breastfeeding policy to prevent childhood obesity. Amendments are to be made to the tobacco control legislation tackling consumption. Policies on alcohol, front of package labeling, as well as sodium and sugar are also expected to go before Parliament. Dr. Tufton says studies are being completed on the consumption of sodium, sugar, and trans fat for data to be used in policy making.
Some of our health practices are embedded, Madam Speaker, in our history and certain norms and practices. We recognize, therefore, that our strategies must also respond to these social and historical challenges. It is very important that we try to steer people towards healthier practices, which will also help to reduce the broader social and economic cost of poor health.
The health minister says a NCD task force will be established to oversee the prevention strategy. And finally, Gender Minister Olivia Grange is calling on men to prioritize their health. Her call comes as the nation joins the rest of the world in observation of International Men's Day.
I know that our men ever so often, Madam Speaker, take their physical and mental health for granted due to cultural and social norms that say men must be tough, men don't need counseling, or the favorite, men don't need to go to the doctor. I want to use this opportunity to encourage our men and boys to take their physical and mental health seriously. Your health is your wealth. Do your routine checkups and make healthy lifestyle choices.
Minister Grange was addressing Tuesday's sitting of Parliament. She said the Bureau of Gender Affairs had initiated several male-centered programs to support the nation's boys and men. They include a male mentorship program which has paired 15 boys from 2 corporate area schools with mentors. The Bureau has also selected 20 fathers between ages 15 and 19 for its pilot Young Fathers Jamaica initiative. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.